Welcome back, everybody. This is KUAM News Extra. I'm still Jason Salas, and thank you so much for tuning in. We have an unbelievable show. We are going to talk to some very outstanding women exhibiting different types of island leadership. So we'll talk to Girl Scouts later about what they're doing with selling Christmas trees and their annual Girl Scout cookie program, and everybody wants to catch that. But first, the very beautiful Miss World Guam 2014 Cruz Jarrett is getting ready to depart on Thursday for London, jolly old London, where she will be representing our island in the international competition. And Her Highness is here right now.
Hello.
So well, good to see you again.
Yes, good to see you too.
Yeah, the last time we actually talked, of course, we were on the stage and you were being crowned. You were very, very emotional. So you know,
I was very shocked and surprised and grateful. Just so many emotions overwhelming me that night.
Well, let's talk about that. In the time that's passed and everything like that, have you let the gravity of the moment and the honor of representing your island, you know, on a much larger international stage, has it really sunk in, and have you let it really get to you, like, wow, I'm actually going to represent the entire community?
Of course, but that wasn't until a week later. I was, you know, the next day I went to work, and I'm a traffic manager, so I email a lot of people, and they respond back like, why are you at work? You just won, you know, aren't you supposed to be home resting and stuff? I was like, no, I'm a normal person. I have a job I need to do, but it didn't hit me until a week later, and I just kept being, wow, I'm going to London. This is pretty awesome.
Okay, so since you said you went back to work, let me ask you, be as honest as you can, be completely truthful. Did you add to your email program, to your signature file, say, you know, Cruz Jarrett 2014 Miss World Guam?
I did not. No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
Not in my work.
Because you could. Yeah. That is one of the perks.
I can, but I just want to keep my work professional as is, because people already know, because they support me, or my supporters. Yeah. Okay.
So now that you've let it actually sink in and you know, you fully embrace your responsibilities, what have you done to prepare for the pageant over there, and what work lay ahead?
I have had fundraisers, and I've had amazing sponsors to help me get everything I need. I got all my gowns ready. I prepared myself for Q&A, and everything that I need to prepare myself along the way, and now I feel that I'm ready. I'm leaving in 3 days, and it's very exciting.
Now, how have you prepared? Because you said, you know, with the Q&A portion of it, because when you're doing the local pageant, of course, you know, you want to say things like, you know, like with I want to exhibit the best traits of being a Guamanian, and it's very, very Guam-centric. Now you're dealing with things like problems and issues of a more global scale, and you're dealing with, like, what, 63 other countries and nations.
122.
Okay. Yeah. That's a lot. So it's every country, every territory, everything like that. So you're all dealing with, you know, things that affect the world in general. How have you prepared for that?
Honestly, my mother is the open book to everything for me, so she would help me and tell me current events happening. She's like the #1 source for me. But aside from the final question, because I did Google and I researched, you know, what kind of questions, there's only one, and that's why would you be Miss World? So I just been practicing what my answer would be for that, and I'm not going to tell you now, because hopefully if I do...
There goes my next question.
Hopefully if I do make it to top 5 and answer that question, then the whole world would get to hear it.
Well, all 153,000 plus of us and everything will definitely be watching with bated breath, and we'll be cheering you on, definitely. Okay.
But I can tell you that it relates to our Chamorro culture, so a part of the answer would be a part of us.
Very cool. Oh, okay, and now because we are from a small island, and you'll be dealing with, you know, you'll make countless number of friends over there, you know, from everywhere, from the U.S., Zimbabwe, Iceland, you know, places like that. You're going to be the first Chamorro they ever meet, the first Guamanian. Do you plan on bringing, like, any types of food and everything to say, like, this is how I eat where we're from, and, you know, like, we like spicy things, or, you know, like, this is how we do things?
I definitely am going to bring the sweets and snacks from here, because that's what everyone loves. And
coconut
I know,
candy?
Talking about a pageant girl, I do love, yes, of course, coconut. I love sweets, and I know everyone else would love them too. And I actually know a couple of the other contestants. I've met them in my international pageant, so I got to go back and see them again. So it won't be their first time meeting a Chamorro.
I was going to say, you might want to bring some achoti with you, because, like, good luck making red rice out there in the middle of England. Yeah, maybe they can get some from, like from Spain or from Portugal and everything.
Yeah.
Maybe you can get lucky. Okay, so how have you prepared your own personal items? Like, are you going to do the typical thing, like I'm going to pack in the 11th hour and everything, or is everything already set up?
I actually started packing 3 weeks prior. I told myself,
good for you.
I know. I'm like, I'm not going to do this again. I'm going to prepare myself. So now my whole luggage is packed. I just need like the mini items that I need to finish. My gowns are getting altered, so I'm going to pick them up and I'm going to stuff them in my bag and I just like checklist everything that I need.
Okay. Now, of course, your predecessor, Geneva Bosco, was a wonderful queen in her own right, and she was very graceful, beautiful, represented the island well. She told me when she came back and we did like a post-pageant interview with her, she was saying, she goes, the one thing she took away was all these girls were the nicest people in the world. You know, they all hung out.
Yeah.
They talked all night about, like how it's like to go to school where they live and to grow up and the values that their own communities hold dear. But they said on pageant day, it was night and day, and everybody game face on. Everybody's out there to win. Have you gotten that type of advice from like from past pageant winners, and what are you taking over there?
I have not gotten the advice. I got the experience from an international. I met amazing people. We come in groups, and my whole group, we were so close. So when it came to pageant night, I did put on my competition, but I was still, my heart was open for the others in case they made it. And it just so happened that Japan was my roommate and she won that year. So on stage, I was crying. I was like overjoyed, I was just overjoyed for her, and people thought that I was crying because I lost, but really I was happy for her.
You can kind of tell the difference between tears of joy and tears of happiness.
I know, yeah. It was so funny. And Miss Hong Kong, she was my roommate too. Me and her were just crying together because we're just ecstatic for her. Okay,
well, tell me about your agenda. Once you leave on Thursday, how long are you going to be out there? What's your schedule, and when do you get ready? How do you get ready?
I go to Taipei first, and then I stay there for, I believe, 9 hours, and then I hop on a plane to London, and from then I do not know the agenda. They didn't tell us anything yet, so it's a surprise. But after that, I'm going to stay back a week after the pageant and just explore Europe and Ireland, and on my way back to Taipei, I stay there for a couple of days to do events.
Very cool. Well, I hope you have your iPad like totally loaded up with like movies and everything like that, because that is a long flight.
Yeah, I actually want to bring books. I'd rather read than watch.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, there's Kindle too. Okay, so on that note, talking about all things digital, give people your Facebook address and your Instagram account, because like as you'll be posting, throughout your adventures and your journey, everybody wants to follow you. Everybody wants to send you messages of support and love and congratulations. So how can people follow you?
They can go to my Facebook, which is facebook.com/Chanel Victoria, or the Miss World Facebook Guam. There's two. The one that I'm going to be posting on is the actual organization, Miss World, and they'll see. And then for Instagram, my name is White Snow with 2 W's at the end.
Very cool. Okay, well, we'll make sure to put that in the show notes just so everybody. And I guess that'll be like the more fun selfies and here's what I'm eating and
15-second videos.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, do you plan on chronicling your experience and everything a lot on social media?
Oh yes, because GTA is sponsoring me a phone and data. So thanks to them, I can show the whole world, Guam, my journey.
Well, make sure you blow Instagram up.
Oh yes, definitely.
And we want to see everybody out there, just like Pia Mia when she came to Guam and everything. She, her follower count went through the roof and everything. We want to get you to 7 digits. We want to get you to like more than 1 million followers.
I hope so.
Yeah. So, any parting thoughts you'd like to share with everybody for the support you've already received, and what kind of feedback have you gotten from the community as you've gone around and people recognize you?
I've gotten positive feedback, a lot of supporters. They're praying for me and they're wishing me luck and the best, and they just really give me the courage to go on and support, to say that I can actually win and do this. So I'm going to give my all. All right. Well, we can't say this enough times. We are so proud of you, all Guam and everything, and we wish you all the very best, and we're behind you 100%. Thank you. All right. Thanks again. Good to see you. You too. And good luck. All right. Stay tuned, everybody, because when we come back, we'll talk to the Girl Scouts about selling Christmas trees and selling those amazing Girl Scout cookies when Extra continues right here on KUAM.